Hey guys, welcome back, and today's look pretty freaking different from what I usually do. I got requested by Sydney Ann to do a Valentine's Day look. They had also requested a story, but I am both a terrible storyteller and I have no good stories to tell, sadly, so sorry about that. I did think it sounded fun to attempt a Valentine's Day look since I have never done that on my channel, and hopefully you still enjoy the eye look. If you stay till the end, you will see that this video leads into one a little bit more my style, but if you want to see how to do a red and black smoky eye look, just keep watching. To start off, because my skin is being a little bit crazy lately, I just applied an oil primer from Smashbox. And then I just used my Tarte BB treatment and applied this all over. I used a beauty blender for this just because my skin is being a little bit crazy right now and was flaking, so being able to pat it on was a little bit softer on my skin. Because the BB treatment doesn't have much coverage, I then just took a concealer and applied this to any areas where I had some spots or discoloration, and again blended it out. And then I made sure to set everything with a translucent powder. This one is just from Laura Mercier. I'm not crazy with highlighter, but I do like to pretend that I actually have cheekbones, so I just went ahead and applied Moonstone from Becca over my tops of my cheekbones and then just on the high points of my face. And then I also used a blush. You may notice these products are similar to the ones used in my Celine tutorial, and that's mainly just because they were filmed very close together and I had them all in front of me, so why not make it easy? One thing I did do a little bit differently is I took a little bit of a contour color and applied this again to underneath my cheekbones to pretend I have more shape to my face than I actually do. And I just applied this also to my temples and a little bit along the jawline. I also just quickly filled in my brows with a dip brow from Anastasia. I'm not too crazy about brows, so I just do them really basic and blend them out, but do them however you like to rock yours. And then you can see I jumped ahead a little bit with my eye look. Helps when I know where I'm going. So all I did was prime my eyelid with an eye primer to help the shadow stick a little bit. And then I took a red eyeshadow, this one is from Sugar Pill, and applied this all over the inner corner towards just past the center of my lid. And then I just took a darker burgundy color and applied this to the outer half and blended it in at the center point with the matte red. For blending into the crease, I started with a soft taupe color and I wanted to pull the shape higher towards my nose just to help open the eye area a bit. And then I followed this with a darker brown to define and just used a taper blending brush to soften the edges. Here it was starting to get more defined, but it wasn't defined enough. So then I took a matte black color and just added this to the outer corner of the eye, both onto the lid and then into the crease as well. Did the same awesome, insane amount of blending into the crease just to soften the edges. And then I also took a matte white eyeshadow and used this to highlight both my brow bone and inner corner of my eye. On my eyes, tight lining really works, so I like to apply a bit of black eyeliner to my upper waterline, but do not do that if you are not a fan. And then I also just applied it to the bottom and added a little bit of gold and the same red to the bottom lower lash line. And then I just blended it out. I am currently still fighting with my new camera lens to figure out the best lighting for the autofocus to stay in focus. How? I don't know. I should have this mastered by now, so my apologies. But all I did was apply a winged liner in black, and then right above that line I used my NYX red liquid liner and did the same thing. And then of course you know my addiction to sparkles, so I could not resist adding a little bit of lit glitter to the inner corner and carrying it under my eye. Fun little last detail to help the winged liner pop even more was just to add a little bit of my white jumbo pencil right underneath the black liquid liner, and I set it with a little bit of a white shadow. And then lashes. So for mine, I just started with a comb style wand mascara. This just helps it so I can comb out my lashes without massive clumping like mine like to do. And then I follow with a volume mascara. And then if you are a false lash lover, add them on here. I kind of go back and forth from loving false lashes to being far too lazy to rock them for a day, so you do you. For lips, I just threw on a berry mauve color and then lightened the effect with a white. You could totally go the opposite route here and add a deep red or blackberry lip, just depends on how dramatic you want the look. And that about sums it up. My plans currently consist of curling up with some new fantasy series as I had no control at chapters and bought a ton of new books to read. How are you guys spending Valentine's? Elaborate plans, Mario Kart tournaments, sleeping for an entire day, or adamantly denying that the Hallmark holiday even exists? Let me know in the comments down below, and until my next video, I will see you guys then, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys!